Hello guys. Today we arrive finally at the last part of the Arkham trilogy with the game Batman Arkham Knight. Now I've been playing the Batman Arkham games uh, back when the first one came out. I didn't have an Xbox back then. My older brother, actually had his Xbox and he came back from college for like a weekend or so, and he let me play it because he had gotten Batman Arkham Asylum for his Xbox. But what happened was, my brother was being a big jerk, being stupid, and he knocked over the Xbox and it etched the disc. My brother was really mad. He was so mad. Uh, Later, I eventually bought it again, so I was able to actually beat the game, and I beat the game, and I had it for a long time afterwards, and I eventually just started to play the game on hard mode. I was at my grandma's house when I was playing on hard mode. I was almost at the end, but my grandma was moving around stuff around the place where I was playing. It was in her basement, and she had a TV down there as the only TV she had in the house. So I was using that to play my Xbox. She came down there, and she didn't know this, so I don't blame her for it at all. It's not her fault. I should have turned the console off and then just been like, okay, I'll just get to it later. But no, I decided to just leave it. She picked it up, moved it out of the way of something that she needed to move or whatnot, so they have room, and it etched the disc. And that is the second time it etched the disc, and now I have never bought it since. Sorry for that big rant on me getting both my Arkham Asylum games etched, but I just wanted to share that, get it off my chest. Those are dark days of my gaming. Lots of etched disc, so many. Anyway, so basically how this game starts is, um, sorry, before I say that, I want to say that I enjoyed the last two Arkham games a lot. I didn't play Arkham Origins, didn't really see the need to play it, I didn't really want to play it, so I just kind of just left it somewhere. I just left it to not be in my gaming library. And uh, I can say with full confidence that Batman Arkham Knight is definitely the best out of the trilogy so far. Uh, so basically, how this game starts out is right from the get go. You know this is the end game. You know this is gonna end somehow, some way tonight. The Batman is gonna be done, and you just know it right from the beginning. So what happens is Scarecrow sets up like this big scene in a diner in which he releases some of his toxin and makes everyone go crazy, and then which ends up in having all of Gotham evacuate because he threatens to do it to the entire city. So the only one left to stop him is Batman, and the only people even left in the city are Batman, the police force, Batman, some of Batman's allies, of course, just random street thugs, and this militia group headed up by our main antagonist, basically, the Arkham Knight. Sorry, not the Ark Knight. That sounds really stupid, Nolan. First, I want to start off by talking about the great storytelling in this game. I loved it so much. There are multiple twists in the game, multiple times when my jaw was just like dropped. It was like, and I was just going like, no way. What? This is happening right now? It was just amazing. Barely any of the twists are foreshadowed, so it just comes out of nowhere, and you're like, oh my gosh, what the heck just happened? There's also a really interesting twist that happens close to the beginning of the game. I'll end up doing a spoiler like discussion video, not like a review, just talking about some things in the game that I liked and don't like later, because I need to. If I don't tell you about some of the stuff that happens in the game and how I think about it, I would go insane. But I'm gonna spoil one thing. I will make sure to post either in the description or on the screen where you can skip it to make sure that you don't uh, get spoiled. I'll try to do that. If not, then just mute your thing for a bit here and eventually just turn it back on. You'll eventually get past it. So, uh, what I want to talk about is the Joker is back. Yes. So, what I mean by that is, at one point in the game, you're exposed to some of Scarecrow's spear toxin, and you just start hallucinating the Joker, like, a lot. And it's just kind of ridiculous. But it's amazing because the Joker, who in Batman's, like, hallucination and everything, he's the best part of this game. He is. It's no doubt in my mind, he is the best part. He made the game so much better than it could have been. Like, I didn't think this was gonna happen. It came out of nowhere. I was like, what? And it happens like like it goes on through like the whole rest of the game, and I'm like, this is amazing. And again, the Joker is voiced excellently by Mark Hamill. He lied to us. He said Arkham City was gonna be his last. Ah, you tricky dude. Ah, man. Anyway, and that's really all I have to say about that. If you played any of the Arkham games before, the combat's basically the same. You see a group of thugs, and you're surrounded by a group of enemies, and you just go around punching them all and stuff, doing takedowns, doing counters, doing combos, all that stuff, just like the previous Arkham games. And it sounds a lot less interesting than it actually is. You know what I mean? It's really good combat. I love it. It's probably one of the best things about it. It keeps it interesting. There's also the stealth sections around still, in which you go around. There's big groups of enemies when they all have guns, and you go around and you silently take them out one by one. And there's a new mechanic that has been introduced called the Fear Multi-Takedown. And it's basically where you, if you build up enough silent takedowns, if you do enough of them, or if you just getting into a section like battle, whatnot, for the first time, you can do a thing called a multi-takedown. It's where if you have like 3 or 4 guys and you're just below them in like a grate or like above them or something, you can take like 3 of them down all seamlessly without having to go into a big combat mode. And I honestly thought it was a very good addition to the game. It helped me out so much in some of the sections because I loved it. Now I want to talk about what is probably the most controversial combat element introduced in this game, and that was the Batmobile. And so the Batmobile, I'm gonna be honest, some people hate it, some people like it. I loved controlling the Batmobile. Some people said they had like trouble controlling it and everything. I'm fine with it. I don't know if it's just because I used to play a lot of like racing games and stuff back when I was a kid. Because any racing game really, except for Mario Kart, because you have power-ups in Mario Kart, but like actual legit racing games, I'm just really good at them. I don't know why. I'm just really good. I can beat people easy in them. So, it's just weird like that. And so I didn't have a problem controlling the Batmobile at all. I actually had a lot of fun with it. It made for some really fun and exciting moments in the game, and it also made for some very challenging ones. Uh, while saying that, I do have flaws with the Batmobile. One in particular was there was a boss fight that happened in the game where you have to use the Batmobile to take out a certain character in a way bigger tank than yours, basically. And it's challenging. It's really challenging. I died multiple times. I was wondering if it was even beatable on normal difficulty. It was ridiculous how hard it was. But eventually I did do it, and I felt like just like that whenever I did eventually beat it. Sorry. So, anyway, Batmobile, it did feel really overused at one point. That was like the point I didn't really like using the Batmobile in combat anymore. It kind of just started getting boring. But For the most part, I did like using the Batmobile. Some people are like taking it way out of context, saying it like ruins the game and everything. It's like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't ruin it. Also, there was another part in this game, and this was where I was just like so mad that the Batmobile even existed at that moment. But I eventually just forgot about it. But there was a character in this game, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get to fight this guy. Yes, this is gonna be an awesome boss battle. When you eventually go to fight him, it's a freaking it's a freaking Batmobile. It's a freaking Batmobile battle. It's not an actual boss battle. You don't get to actually fight him afterwards. Nope, it's just a Batmobile battle. It made me so mad. I think I turned my game off after that. After I did it, after it saved and everything, I turned my game off and I just went and started watching stuff or playing some other game because I was just so mad at that moment. Now, I will tell you that I enjoyed like the feeling of being able to like grapple up and then just go flying into the air and glide all over Gotham. It's a much better way of traveling in my opinion than the Batmobile. Also, the Riddler challenges are back in this game. Now, the actual challenges are what I mean. I'm talking they do have the trophy still, but so in this game, I think literally I completed 3 challenges the whole game. Not trophies, not collecting trophies, doing the challenges, the actual riddles. I only did like 3 because I didn't really like them that much. I don't know what it is. I just don't really like doing the riddle challenges unless I'm really in the mood for them. Also, there's a new thing that you do in this game. If you have 2 different characters helping you out, say like Batman and Catwoman, you can do these things where you have like a dual takedown and then you start playing as like that other character and then you can keep switching back and forth doing the dual takedowns. I really enjoyed it. It did leave me wanting like a co-op mode in the game, but honestly it wasn't a big deal. And that's all I have to say about that. The thing I really liked about this game was there were certain sections in the previous Arkham games, and you were indoors a lot in the previous Arkham games. That wasn't something I particularly liked. I loved that most of this game takes place outdoors and not indoors. It was a really cool thing because I honestly like just flying around Gotham doing stuff outdoors instead of having to go into a building to do stuff. It's kind of annoying when I do that. Also, graphics wise, this game is amazing. Looks amazing, runs perfectly, basically no frame rate issues at all. Unlike a certain game I have on my PS4 right now, which is the and anyway, one more thing I want to talk about is the score for this game, the musical score. It's amazing. I honestly, there were parts when I was doing a mission or whatnot, like a stealth thing where I was like picking off enemies, and the score would start playing. I'm like, this is an amazing score. I'm just gonna sit back and listen to this for a bit. It's awesome. It's really awesome. I love the score of this game. It's really cool. I liked it a lot. So, with all the good stuff that is in this game, there are some flaws, and it's really just one big flaw. The Arkham Knight. Not that he's a bad villain. I actually thought he was really interesting as a villain. I thought it was cool. Because, like, I loved how you wonder who he is, like, the whole game. You're always wondering who he is. And eventually, it is revealed to you who it is. And if you know anything about the Batman universe, you'll be able to guess who the Arkham Knight is pretty, like, not right off the bat, but if you think about it for a little bit, and they even foreshadow it at one point in the game, and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's him? That's the Arkham Knight? Really? Come on. I was expecting a lot more out of that. It's just something that kind of bothered me. It was mixed. I didn't really like it because I kind of knew who it was going to be already. I was hoping it would be someone I didn't know who it was, but that was not the case. But at the same time, I got kind of why they did it. So if you haven't even seen or read anything else Batman related, or you've only played the games or just watched the movies, you will not know who it is. Um, Other than that, Arkham Knight, the game shouldn't have been named after him. Should have been named after. It should have had a different kind of subtitle. Because if you're gonna name a game after a certain antagonist in it, please make sure that the antagonist is, around and actually feels like he's defeating Batman. Because for the most part, even though there were times in which like he seemed like he was beating me, I was like, well, Batman's gonna get out of it. It's not gonna, bad's gonna happen to him, and it just. But there were times in which he would show up or he would be somewhere, and I was like, holy crap, I didn't think he was gonna be here, and it actually made it pretty interesting. And other than that, really, the Arkham Knight was kind of my biggest flaw with it, and it doesn't help that he's one of the biggest characters of the game, and that's all I have to say about that. Guys, Batman Arkham Knight, while it does have its flaws, and while some people are saying it's not really as good as people may think it is, I honestly had a fun time with it. I thought it was a fitting end to the Arkham trilogy. I thought, yay, we're done with Batman. Maybe Rocksteady can go on to do something else now, and I want to see what they do next. I honestly do. It's gonna be awesome when they do something. And with that, guys, I'm gonna say that Batman Arkham Knight is just an amazing game, and it deserves a 9 out of 10. Guys, I definitely recommend you pick Batman Arkham Knight up. It's worth your money right now. I will be honest with you. Maybe not the season pass and all that. I don't think you need to get that. Just get the game right now. And while it does have its flaws, some of them are in the background and they don't really ruin your experience with the game, in my opinion at least. I mean, they might do it for some people, but in my opinion, they don't do anything to the game at all, and the game's just amazing. It doesn't matter. And with that, guys, I just want to thank you for watching my videos. I love it when I see I have multiple views on my videos because it makes me go like, yes, people actually watch these. That's awesome. I love it when I get new subscribers. And guys, if you haven't already, please like this video, and I want you to comment below. Tell me your thoughts on the game. What did you think of it? If you liked it, please tell me. If you didn't, please tell me. I like to know other people's opinions. And really quick update, I'm gonna hopefully have my Inside Out review up soon. Hopefully. Uh, I'm gonna be watching it tonight actually, and I will make sure I have that review up as soon as possible, possibly within the next week, probably Monday. I want to say Monday, but I procrastinate a lot, so it might not be Monday. And with that, guys, don't forget to be the Batman.